welcome to this week's Swarf and Chips, and you are joining us here at the grand opening of the Hoffmann UK subsidiary. So in today's show we're going to be speaking to Tim Paddison, who is the Managing Director, and we'll be speaking to the Lord Mayor, who's an ex-engineer. We're going to be seeing their products in use at Whitley Scientific and Merck Aerospace, and we'll be talking technical with lots of special guests here happening on today's Swarf and Chips. Thank you, Tim, for having us here at your grand opening event. It's been a good day, hasn't it?
It's been excellent, and we're really pleased to have you here, Lindsay.
Now, I've been doing a lot of research on your company, and my mind is blown. There are so many products. We've got an industry here, all to do with machining and everything, but how can you introduce your company and how you're tailored toward our industry?
Yeah, absolutely. We have got a lot of products, in fact. 85,000 products in the catalogue, but it's not just about the products. Really, in the catalogues you've got everything you would find within 20 to 30 feet of a workstation, whether that be a machining centre or some other kind of workstation. But the key really is really helping our customers to simplify their procurement of those products and become more efficient through helping them in productivity areas.
And I think we're going to see that quite a bit today through Whitley and Merck Aerospace.
Definitely.
I was fascinated by your presentation actually today. I thought it was superb. Some of the facts I picked up: 150,000 customers, or active customers around the world. So yeah, that just shows the breadth of the product, but the success of the business as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, in globally outside of the UK, you know, particularly in central European countries, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, you know, Hoffmann is really well established. What we haven't done today is brought those benefits and that value to customers in the UK, and that's really what today is all about.
So really, Tim, you are a complete solutions provider, aren't you? Would you say that's correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's not just about the products, it's about the people behind the products as well.
Definitely, you know, it's about, as I said earlier, helping our customers and potential customers to simplify what they do in procuring all of those products, and help them drive efficiency and productivity, because that's the key. You
must see a big demand for this then in the UK. Is it something that we're not very, or other companies aren't necessarily good at? There's a weakness there?
I think in the UK it's a very crowded market. You know, there's a lot of choice. And sometimes a lot of choice can drive similarities. I think it's hard to really see differentiation between what different companies offer to customers. What we want to have is a very clear value proposition that can be easily identified and that customers can relate to and see how that benefits them.
Sorry, Lindsay. I've certainly spotted some USPs on my travels with Hoffmann, which we'll touch upon later in some of the coming videos. But there are certain aspects, you know, 5S, for example, and the implementation of that is really improving efficiency in the companies that we visited.
I spotted a good one as well. You even have PPE wear in his size, which doesn't
do we?
Shocker! Newsflash! Right, let's talk tooling at Merck Aerospace.
This tool has achieved significant efficiency and productivity gains. Now, Phil, tell me about the application.
Well, it doesn't sound a particularly difficult application. It's a hole drilled in 316 stainless steel on a Matsura, the machine you can see behind us. It's been machined with the Master Steel feed drill from Hoffmann, a 3-flute carbide bore drill with through coolant, and we, as you've mentioned, have achieved some exceptional results with this.
Now, what kind of cycle time reductions have been achieved?
Well, just on a 60mm deep hole, we've achieved in the order of 5 minutes savings in time.
Now, how deep is the hole? Would you say 60mm?
60mm.
And the material?
It's 316 stainless.
Now, what about the longevity? How long has it lasted? Did it do the batch that was required?
Well, it certainly did, and indeed it's done quite a lot more to date. This is the same trial tool that we put in originally, and it has not yet worn itself out. So that'll be a test for you. How many components do you think this drill has achieved so far?
So there's this week's challenge. Back to you.
Thank you, Gio. So that was technically your cycle time challenge, but in a different way. So put your guesses in the comments box below. There's a little bit of a twist to this one, so just be adventurous with your guesses. So I've heard this company have saved, what is it, £40,000 a year in savings on a tool. Is that correct, Phil?
Well, it's not actually one tool, it was two.
Oh, two.
But in fact, they're the same product from ourselves, different diameter, that's all.
Well, I think...
Sorry, on the same job.
On the same job. So I think everyone's going to be quite interested in this, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we visited Merck Aerospace. I mean, we've done a case study with Paul Walker at Merck Aerospace. Now, the transformation in the business is amazing, really, over the years. But this is from the implementation not only of your cutting tools, but of 5S generally and the Tool 24 vending stations. Can you give us an indication how they've achieved such savings and productivity and efficiency gains?
Well, I think if you remember, Richard said that they'd achieved something around 20% efficiencies, and that's because they know exactly where each tool is. Everything's got a place, and it's in its place, and that's a key, a key differentiator between a disorganised workshop and an organised workshop. So if you haven't got to spend time walking around the shop trying to find a tool, you can obviously improve your efficiencies dramatically.
That's changed, isn't it? I remember when I was in the machine shop, you just had a series
This
of
is
drawers.
about 100 years ago, by the way.
And you just open your drawers and you don't know where your spanners are. Or
You probably didn't.
No. I didn't even know what one was, but yeah, that's why I couldn't find it. But in reality, things like ToolVend these days, they make engineers accountable, don't they, for what they're doing? So it's all
Absolutely.
part of
I mean, businesses can no longer just make savings on the cost of the tool. It's about making yourself overall more productive. We'll never compete, I don't think, with a very low cost economy, so we have to make efficiency savings, and that can only come from effectively making yourself work more intelligently. If you are putting a job on a machine, you need to know where every single tool is, and you need to know that they're available to you there and then, instead of having to wait a day. You can have a machine tool costing £100 an hour, sitting doing nothing.
Well, this was one of the things. We got a calculation at £40 per hour. How much do you think that is per minute?
I'm not sure. I'm not even going to guess.
But it's 66 pence a minute. Looking for something. And I remember if I was working on a night shift, you'd get a note from someone saying, "Where did you leave this? Where did you leave that?" It can amount to hours, can't it?
Well, it's hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of pounds. And I think everybody knows if ever there was a night shift run, they were always blamed for everything. Oh, it didn't get done, it was on the night shift, blah, blah, blah. This eliminates all of that. Everybody knows where the products are and how many are in stock and who's taking what.
But it's not just about the accountability, is it, Phil? I mean, the biggest outgoings to a company is cutting tools because it's a consumable. So this is like your introduction into digitalisation and the tool monitoring from your ToolVend 24. Now, what kind of savings just alone from that? That's a different type of saving altogether, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, people say we can save, £5 on a job on this particular. If you've got 10 guys all wandering around a shop, not contribute, they're not contributing at any point in time unless they're on that machine making it work. The tool vending allows people to identify the products. As I said, they can pre-plan. They know where the products have got to be in good time, and so it's very much there's no waste time. When you're talking about digitalisation and Industry 4.0. This particular company want to link the Tool 24 to their ERP system, so it automatically reorders. And again, you don't have waste time by having no products available to you. So it's a good way of doing it.
If only there was a domestic version, you could use it at home, couldn't you?
You're bullying him today. I can see it. You are the PPE and everything.
Bring back Joe.
Right, now there's another example, which is Whitley Scientific. Gio, you loved going to this company. It was quite interesting, wasn't it? What they do, what they manufacture.
Yeah, it was an extremely interesting visit, and it was a brilliant visit. I think that it fascinated me that they manufacture their own products, and you'll see their products in every hospital in the UK, but all around the world. Their product actually examines what kind of bacteria is in the body prior to an operation, so it saves lives. And the founder of the company has recently passed away, but we've got a real insight into this product. It's very fascinating. So let's go to Whitley Scientific.
The Hoffmann tool car. Now, Fergus, you are a manufacturer of your own equipment. Now, how do you use this Hoffmann tool car? What tools are in the drawer?
Well, if you look at the tool drawers now, all these tool carts that you see in production, they're all exactly the same. They all have exactly the same tool loadout, exactly the same type of tools, and that's a key thing to everybody's got the same tools. So not some people don't have a special tool in that cart that you can't get to. Everybody's got the same tool loadout.
Now, the configuration of these drawers, is this specific to the tools that you use here?
Absolutely. These have been designed specifically for us. So we decided what tools we needed, and then we designed the foams, which are essentially what the tools sit in. And if you look at that, now we can see when that tool's missing, which is another key thing. Always looking for tools at the end of the day, where are they? You know whether if the tool's missing or not with this tool cart, because it's actually leaving a space.
Now, how long ago did you implement this into your company?
4 years ago.
And what kind of efficiency gains have you seen since implementing this product from Hoffmann?
Man hours, I think, is one key area, is man hours. People not looking for tools, wandering around the workshop, because that was a big thing. Somebody wouldn't have a screwdriver that would fit a certain fastener. They'd be looking for it around the workshop. Now it's here, it's all with them in one case.
That's portable as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. So the one thing we decided that we'd do at a very early stage was we'd make these tool carts portable because of the type of equipment we manufacture. They're quite big, and we need a big area to manufacture them in, so they have to take the tool carts with them. So they're not walking back to the bench to find a tool, it's gone with them in the tool cart.
Now, they're being used in lots of different departments also. So you've got the assembly department here, but also your manufacturing facility. You know, are you seeing the same efficiency gains in all areas?
Everywhere. Wherever we've implemented these tool carts, we've absolutely seen efficiency increases with just people having tools centralised and localised in one area.
Now, there you have it. You know, Don Whitley Scientific have seen massive efficiency gains using the Hoffmann tool car.
Wow, Gio, what a great testimonial. Now, it's all about the people. We've discussed productivity gains, but now it's about what Hoffmann can do in the people. So I'm joined by Ian and Paul Walker. Is this a marriage or something? Same surname?
I'm Mini-Me, so Big Ian over here is my father.
And he's my ugly son.
Uh-oh. I'm only joking. They're not related at all. But we want to know more about what you do in terms of people. You've come to the UK. You've opened in the UK. You want to get closer to your customers. How are you doing that?
Okay, well, one of the great things about Hoffmann is the way that we are set up with technical specialists in different fields. So like many companies, we'll just have a sales engineer who is expected to cover all the disciplines within a company, and so what we do is we will have the general sales engineers, but then we will also have specialists in different fields. So for instance, we'll have a specialist who just deals with cutting tools. We'll have another specialist that deals with abrasives and grinding equipment, another specialist who deals with PPE, and another specialist who deals with workstations, and also metrology. So this is something that's quite unique into the UK marketplace, a company that can offer all these different disciplines under one umbrella.
And you're on site, you're doing tool trials, is that right?
That's right. Our application engineers will get involved in the more complicated and specialist components, but most of our general sales engineers are also capable, more than capable, of dealing with the standard cutting tool situations as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about the product, is it? I mean, you've obviously got a quality product, but without people, the product isn't nothing, is it really? You know, I mean, Fergus really kind of sung your praises, Paul, and you've done a case study for them with a particular application using some of your cutting tools. Now, can you tell our audience what this was and the kind of savings again, and the speciality you've got to be able to implement them savings?
Yeah, I mean, they were looking for money really with regard to tooling for Don Whitley Scientific is not important too much. They want the absolute best tools, quality of products that they can get their hands on. So it was important to them. Productivity savings just means obviously extra capacity for them in their machine shop. So we applied a master steel feed drill on their lathe, drilling some stainless components and some steel bushes. And the steel bush component, it just blew them away. It was 2.2 metre feed rate from a drill, drilling a 10 mil hole, 35 mil depth. You know, it took longer for the spindle of the machine to get to speed than it did for the hole to be produced by the tool. So,
I think what really hit me on that visit was the relationship that you'd built with the company. Is this something that is, you know, going to be the key to your success here in the UK?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's we call ourselves systems partners, and that's really what it's about, is a partnership between us and our customers. And they want the customers that want to work with us and realise savings and productivity gains. That's what it's all about for us. It's perfect. So Whitley Scientific, fantastic company, where it's not just about a machine shop, it's about the whole thing. So they want, you know, a solution that from one supplier like us that can give them that, which is, yeah, it's just working really.
Complete solutions. Now, don't forget to put your tooling time challenge, what we did earlier, into the comments box below so you can win your Swarf and Chips goodie bag. But Paul, earlier, because it's the grand opening, caught up with the Lord Mayor of Birmingham who cut the ribbon. So we're outside of the Hoffmann Group now, and Paul is behind us and he's speaking to the Lord Mayor of Birmingham. This is Mohammed Azim. What's really interesting is the fact that Mohammed actually has a background in engineering. So he's done the ribbon cutting of today and opening this whole facility. But he was born in Pakistan. He had his family out in Pakistan, and then he came over to Birmingham. And I think it's something like 240 predecessors of mayors that have had that position since like the early 1800s. And now I think he's either the 241st or something around that. But he started off on the shop floor as an engineer. He got promoted to being a foreman, and he's worked tirelessly now throughout his whole time, and being mayor, he's off now, but he's worked tirelessly over his lifetime really of creating job stability within Birmingham. And it's great because when he opens somewhere like this, you know, it's in an industry that he knows, and it's also creating job stability that he's working on as being mayor as well. There he goes, we'll wave to him. He's off now. I don't think he's seen me. But there you go, he's opened the Hoffmann Group today. He didn't even notice me. He didn't even notice me. He was off. His driver was off, and he was more interested in having his next
It was tinted
stop.
windows. It was tinted windows, so you couldn't tell.
But what did you chat to him about in all honesty?
Well, he was pretty reticent to start to talk to us. He'd had a busy day here, and he'd obviously covered a lot, so we managed to just collar him before he got in the car. But it was interesting to hear about his background, the fact that he'd been involved in engineering and manufacturing, and he seemed that he was a big advocate of what's happening here in the local community and jobs actually coming from the local community to here at Hoffmann. So I'm sure you're very pleased that he attended, and I'm sure, you know, it'd be a good ambassador for the area.
100 years. 1919. What does that mean to you? Basically, the company was founded 100 years ago, 1919, had quite a journey, and now 100 years on, look what's happened.
It's been quite an amazing year really for Hoffmann. We celebrated our 100-year anniversary, as you've just said, and we've launched a UK office. It's, you know, it's exciting times at the Hoffmann Group.
Yeah,
we can't deny that. And today has been fantastic. We've had the mayor. He's caused a bit of fun by ignoring you, and you know, that aside, he's been a great advocate for us today. We're really pleased that he could come along. And you know, the future is Hoffmann. Yeah. It's orange. Yeah. Orange is coming to the UK.
Yeah.
It's nice to see further investment into the UK from a foreign company, if you like. I think it shows confidence, and I liked the speeches really, that regardless what happens, we're going to be here and we're going to be strong, and we're going to do what we can. You know, you can only do what you can influence yourself, not what other people do. So yeah,
and Joe liked the fish and chips. You know,
he wasn't away from the food all day, was he?
No, he wasn't. That's why he's not here.
Every time you do realise Joe's in the background and he can hear this, and he can't come on set, and he really wants to do something to these guys. Anything to finish off? Anyone? Any more questions regarding the company?
Yeah, keep a lookout for the videos coming soon on CNC, on Global, and on MFG from today.
Yeah, a little roundup from the today. You're really pleased, are you, John?
I'm very pleased. I'm quite relieved as well, but it's obviously all gone very well. But you know, in all seriousness, day one is today. So the task of building the Hoffmann brand across the UK now and building our customer base is upon us. And we have a good team, as you've seen. I think you can see that we all get along very well, and we're hungry for this. So
like Joe.
Very much.
I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. On that note, sorry, Joe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to watch any previous episodes, click on the links on the screen. As we always say, keep those spindles turning.